It says
correctly?
Tuesday, December 17th on the top of it.
Oops.
As of January. Let's fix that.
20. Okay. Yeah.
We do have the right. Oh, okay. No, we have.
Yeah, these are the right minutes. I just didn't update the date there.
Yeah, but I'm looking down at as of January 23rd, 2024. Are these
No,
dates
that's
all?
as of the municipal budget as of.
There, I fixed that too.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Is this what? Okay. This is what came in your packet, right?
Yes, it is. I
How
just
did I
forgot
not
to
pick it
update
up?
that date
How did
line.
I not see that? Because
Then
I read.
I don't know. How did I not see it?
How did I?
You still have a
We're tired and
2024 in
cold.
the top too.
All right. So,
Oh, thank you, Kate. All right, are we good?
I like the
We're
track.
trying to deny the new year.
I know.
Let's go back.
Yeah. I like how you have the tracking of how far we are through the year. That's helpful. Sometimes I forget.
yes, that's good.
Yeah,
So we're
there's a
kinda
little
like-
online calculator that you can use to calculate the percentage between two dates, and it's very handy.
That is handy.
And right now, because we're like halfway through, so we're looking at get a good idea, a snapshot of where we are now and where we're headed. So I'll let Justin explain everything. Take it away, Justin.
Okay, yeah, so we are just a little bit more than halfway through the fiscal year, which I always take as a time to kind of reflect and make sure that things are looking good, throughout the end of the fiscal year. And we do have a few things that has kind of pushed our budget into a yellow zone that I'm not comfortable with. We had to do 2 unexpected computer replacements. There'll be more details on that in my director's report, but we had to replace our 2 circ computers. We had to replace the rear fire alarm, siren, and strobe during our annual inspection because it failed inspection. Our paper consumption has doubled since we extended our hours. Some of that's due to passive programming, that Marco's been doing with the brain bundles and whatnot. And some of it is just due to increased patron use because we have a lot, more patrons coming in to use the computers and print high volumes of stuff. And we don't keep the printing fees. So like the benefit we get doesn't scale with the service we provide. We've had some issues with our phone lines thanks to this incredibly windy and blustery winter. And we've had to have Verizon technicians out twice, and that comes out of our phone line item. And we're going over budget on electricity. I had originally budgeted more in electricity, but back during last year's budget negotiations, whenever we were trying to keep our ask, as close to $100,000 even number as possible, we clawed it back some. And, given this winter, that was a mistake. We should have budgeted more for electricity. That said, we're not in like a red danger zone or anything. I can solve this overrun either by decreasing library materials spending because we spend more than we technically have to. I mean, I like spending more than we have to, but we can technically spend less. I could cut off CPC licenses for a little bit. That would come at the expense of circulation. So what I would rather do is, just beg forgiveness for the overrun and ask the trustees to consider voting to allow me to use grants to pay Brian LaValle's entire $7,500 estimates to do Deb's future office in the ceilings. Last month, we voted to spend $5,000 out of the regular budget and $2,500 out of grants. But if we just paid for it all out of grants, that should see us, that would solve this problem. And that account is just at over $39,000. So there's definitely money there to spare.
I have a question before we start discussion though. What grant are you talking about to take this money from?
The library grants account, the LIGMEG.
But that's okay, that's separate from our town budget. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we're good on the LIGMEG budget. We're not going over on that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have a budget. It's just, we get the two payments
Exactly.
every
Well,
year,
right,
and then
right.
it
But you're
accumulates.
keeping in line your expenses and everything.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
what
I have
does
a que-
CPC stand for?
Cost per circ.
Cost per circ. Okay.
Yep.
So we pay, if I get it right, an ebook, we'll pay cost per circ. So instead of buying it for so many things for so much of a time, every time someone takes it out, we pay a fee, right? Is that how it
Yeah.
works?
So we're not buying it to add to the collection. We're basically just leasing it for as long as the patron has it, which is why we have to have it as a separate line item in our budget because it doesn't count as a circulating material expense, according to the MBLC, because we don't share it
Oh.
with other towns.
Are you using the, you need the, what was it, it- um, the, the stuff for repair? You can't take it out of repair because you need to use the repair money for the alarms and the computers and stuff. Is that true? My,
Yeah, well, we
that
already
right?
have. Most of those bills have already been paid, which is what has led us to having, 58% of our budget expended at 56% of the year.
Okay, so you have left in there $5,150 in
Yeah,
repairs
but
and
we're
and that you want to keep for electrical work down in
yeah,
the basement.
exactly. Like something could also go wrong, which is why I don't
Exactly. I
like
was
to have
going to
all the
say,
repairs and maintenance budget gone.
right, because if you look at where we're at, we're a little over 50% through the year, but we've spent 75% of that line item. So I don't think we want to mess with that at all.
Well, that's because I think, didn't we spend a lot at the beginning of the year,
We did.
knowing
We
that?
spent a lot on repairs and maintenance because we use that to, do all the painting, everything we've done in the basement so far, which has been the repairing the bricks, resealing them, and applying this coat of paint, removing the radiators, patching those walls up.
Didn't we put some of the Unibank money in the building fund?
And no, it went into regular donations.
Do we have any
I would,
plans for that?
I must have read it wrong.
I would rather,
Right now, we've got $434 in regular donations that's not reserved for capital or archives. And the Unibank donation kind of made that number black after it had been red for a while because we overspent out of regular donations whenever we did the exterior or the front door refurbishment
right, I remember that.
because that went way over budget.
Right, and that's another reason to keep that money in that line item, that repair line item. You never know. I mean, I think we, as everybody, and Justin in particular, and staff, are doing a really good job of maintaining this wonderfully old building. But every time you turn a corner, you're taking the chance of some other repair that's going to need to be done.
Right.
So I don't want to touch that money. Um,
Ooh, new sink taps and piping. That's what else we did. I knew I was forgetting something.
Say that again?
We also had the new had to have the sinks repiped and because all of the shut off valves were rusted and you couldn't close them.
That's a good idea.
And why are we not keeping the printing fees?
They've just always gone to the general fund. We
You mean to
keep,
the town? That
yeah,
we
to
pay
the
them to
town's
the
general
town
fund. Yep.
because they own the printer?
That's just how it's always been. I don't know exactly why. I know we get to keep our library fines and donations, but the printing and copying fees have just always gone into the town general fund.
I'm not sure. Is there, okay, does the town hold maintenance agreements on the equipment?
Nope.
No. So I don't understand why we can't keep that. If you're saying that the use of paper has gone way up, and that's great. That's a good thing. And where people are coming in to have things printed. You're talking paper and you're talking toner and you're talking wear and tear on the machines. What does it cost to have something printed?
We charge 10 cents per page if it's black and white. First page of anything is free. And if it's like full glossy color stuff, then it's 25 cents a page. So we turn over, I don't know, between like $10 and $20 a week to town hall.
All right, so say let's lowball it. Let's go in between and say $15 a week. So that's again lowballing it at $60 a month because you always figure a month at 4.33. But say $60 a month for the rest of this year, from February. All right, so that would be 5 months. That's $300. That could help to pay for paper and toner. Is that something we can change?
I don't know. I can ask Jean.
That would be good because thank you, Betty, for bringing that up.
Well, I just wondered why we weren't keeping it. Did we buy the machine?
Yeah, we buy the machine, we buy the toner, we do all the maintenance. It's just, I think that the logic in the past has been, well, we've done that with municipal appropriated funds. But I will ask Jean. What would have to be done to change that?
I'm very interested in that.
What would probably end up happening is they would end up allocating it, like creating another account to keep track of, and then the money would go in there. Then would have to use it
You
for
can't just go in with the
paper,
fines. The
and
account
no,
where
it
the
can't go in
fines
with the
are.
fines. Different
Oh,
monies can't
good
go into
Lord.
different accounts. It would make another account.
Okay. Alrighty, whatever. All
Mhm.
right. So,
Anyway.
moving on. We have to figure out where we want to take this money from. Ideas from trustees? Should we put a
What are you
should we-
asking?
I'm just wondering, do we need, now I'm asking, should there be a motion to do something else with the funding to pay for it before we open it up to discussion? I want, like Dawn is saying, we want to make sure we're doing the right thing. I don't know. Do we need to, or can we
So
just?
so you're asking about the printing costs?
No,
or
I'm
something?
moving to the cost. We've moved past the printing cost. Justin's going to ask Jean how we can change that. If we can change it. but I'm moving back to funding of Brian LaValle's bill because last month
It
we
all
voted this. Okay, so we
Yeah,
want to.
no, I get it. So I'll make a motion that we use LIG MEG grant money at for $7,500 to pay for the um renovation, finish the children's librarian's renovation for her office.
All right, do we have a second?
Seconded.
All right, so now we open it up to discussion.
I think it makes sense to take it out of grants.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Is
so we
there anything-
already allocated 2,500, so this would be an additional 5,000 just to make the total
Okay.
7,500.
Okay,
Okay, so I'll say that it's for 5,000
okay, right.
to use $5,000 from LIG MEG because we've already got the 2,500.
Yeah, so like an additional 5,000 to add to the 2,500 we approved last month.
Okay.
And then the other
any fur-
money goes back where it came from.
Yeah, we just won't spend it.
Yeah, yeah. Any further discussion?
Related to this, it doesn't change like our voting, but as far as the electricity being, us being so ahead on electricity, what do we do? Are we gonna end up having to keep voting on moving money to
Well,
cover that?
that's why I want to leave, this $5,000 in repairs and maintenance because that can also eat
Right.
up, or that can take care of the electricity overrun.
Okay.
That, along with this dues and memberships down here, that $860 isn't going anywhere. There's no more expenses to come out of that.
Yeah,
We're still under on CPC licenses, so there'll be some money there. The $42 from postage that Ellie hates will probably be available.
Yeah. It's always there, Ellie. We've got it. if
I
we
know, it
need
drives
it.
me up a wall. And the telephone is so high too.
Yeah, we had to
Yeah.
have 2 service calls, and those hit us for over $100 each.
Oh, man. Well, what
So
are
we
you gonna
couldn't
do?
use those for the
Oh.
repairs, maintenance, and
It comes out of
replacements.
telephone because it comes from the Verizon invoice that they send to the town.
Yeah, that's still pretty low for a phone bill overall, I think.
All right, so if we can get back to the discussion on the floor about doing further discussion, is there further discussion on using the $5,000 from LIG MEG? All right, hearing none, all those in favor?
I
I
Aye, opposed? Abstained? All right, so it's been approved unanimously. And that will
Thank
work.
y'all.
Well, that will work then too, because it's not going to affect circulation. We don't want to do that. We want to keep as much money in there as we can. And then, like you say, the budget with the town, those numbers can move back and forth. That like Justin said, the
Mhm.
$5,000 in maintenance and repairs can go towards the phone bill or whatever else.
And
So
we stay in good standing with the vendor that we use a lot too, right?
Mhm.
With
I
Brian.
don't think any standing with vendors would be affected.
I just meant with Brian.
Oh, with Brian LaValle, yeah.
oh yes, absolutely. So
Well,
then Justin,
I've already signed a contract with him, so we would have to pay him out of something. So like, if
right.
y'all didn't
No.
approve it, I'd still have to pay him
No,
out of
he-
operations, and
He
then
has done well. He's done well by us. He really has.
just tighten the belts to make up for it.
Right. Yeah. I was just gonna.
So
All right,
The
so
rest
we're
of the
all set?
finance report is, the only new thing really to report is that our library grant disbursement came in at 13,000, which is why our library grants account is almost at 40,000. Um, and so that brings our capital funds up to 267,000, unrestricted funds to 29,000, and then we've got these other random things.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good. I mean, we're looking up, we're
Yeah.
moving forward. Baby steps, but we're doing it. Okay, director's report. I was looking at the statistics and I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, circulation is definitely going up. I want it to go up even more because we did get a 35% budget increase. I would like that to eventually equal a 35% circulation increase. And
Yeah.
we're close. We're like at 30, 31%. We haven't gotten to 35% yet. And, I know not the entire 35% of the budget increase went towards circulating material. Some of it has gone through other stuff, but I'd still kind of like those numbers to be the same. Our door count for December was astronomical because of the winter stroll event. Again, was a huge success. We had Mr. and Mrs. Claus. We had letters to Santa. We had face painting. We had crafts. And
I got
we
so
had
much
almost 400
feedback
people.
about the library from families that they loved it.
Nice.
And I got feedback from parents too that the letters from Santa replying to the kids were also really good. That made me happy.
Oh, that's so nice. That's great.
We had more programs in December of 2024 than December of 2023, and more people attended them. So I'm happy with the direction we're going that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Marco's passive programming, the Brain Bundle, we distributed 113. The Tea of the Month, 132. 141 coloring books and 55 take-home crafts. So, I mean, those are good numbers.
Oh, that's great. I love, well, I didn't get in there for December. I'm sorry.
So I did destroy a computer and a processor. Last month, I reported that I was trying to, fix our Windows 11 upgrade problem by installing a processor I bought on one of the Circ computers, but it broke everything and destroyed it all. The processor wasn't compatible with the power supply, despite being compatible with the motherboard. So there was a funny electrical smell, and everything was dead. Gail's computer is also becoming increasingly unstable and prone to freezes. So I just bought 2 new reliable, off the shelf computers instead of trying to build something janky. And so that's what we're operating on the Circ desk now. I'm going to skip this one and come back to it because we're talking about computers right now. I replaced all of the in-house use laptops with the new laptops we got donated from Bryant University. I installed Chrome OS on them, wrote simple instructions to patrons on how to use them. I was scared that, a handful of patrons would rebel because they would hate it, but they actually like it better. So that's happy. Another one of the donated laptops is becoming Rebecca's new archive computer because they're that good. I mean, we can use them as, PC equivalents. I've deployed another one as a backup page computer, and I want to keep one for myself so that I can do things like bring it downstairs and have this Zoom meeting on it without having to move all my stuff to Rebecca's computer. And they all have embedded Windows licenses, so that's not an issue any longer. That
Oh,
issue.
good.
So we're in tall cotton when it comes to computers now.
I've never heard that saying. That must be from the
We're
South.
from the north, Danielle.
Sorry.
I love it. I like that.
Streaming in laptops. So I'm hoping to get a lot of them circulating, out to the public, out of library use, within the next month. And then also, get the mobile hotspots circulating with them. So you can check out a computer and a hotspot and just have everything you need to go online. No
Nice.
ISP needed.
Cool.
Let's see. The Douglas Mill Town Newsletter is launched. We got 115 subscribers. Actually, it's 150 something now. So the number is continuing to grow.
Justin,
And
I
one-
like it. I like having that. And I
make it,
think once people in the town realize that there's one central place that they can click on and get all the news for all the different programs and the events coming up and everything. I think it's
yeah.
great.
I'm
So
hoping so. I'm hoping it's one of those things that snowballs too, because like organizations, businesses, and whatnot. We're not discriminating between content that we put on. It doesn't have to be free. Whenever you submit an event to be included, it can have a price tag on it. It
Sure.
just has to be in Douglas or related to Douglas somehow.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that, it kind of snowballs. The more participation in, the more value there will be out.
yeah. So how can we keep promoting it because we can't keep emailing people, right, without violating some rule, but maybe it can be on various digital things, sign in the library, a QR code, in
I put it on the sign out front today.
Okay, great.
But I think that what we need now is like other departments and boards and commissions to also kind of start plugging it. If there was something on the fire department website that said, if you want to find out about all of our events, subscribe to this newsletter. And if something like that was on, all of the departments, all of the organizations that, give us stuff to feed into it,
Yes.
So
that
how
I
can
think
we
would be
do
the
that?
next step to mass adoption.
How can we do that?
Rebecca is just trying to connect with people and make that happen.
Okay.
Couldn't you announce it at a department's head meeting or something? Or do you have department head meetings?
We have a department-wide email where we chat back and forth to each other, and that's where Rebecca is reaching out and trying to establish connections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is there a link on the website if we need to, at the Simon Fairfield website, if we need to share with somebody?
There absolutely is. Let me show you without making everything else go away. Let's go up
Okay,
here.
that's a good
Zoom.
thing.
It's in this community drop down now.
Community. Okay.
Under the community drop down, there's the Douglas Mill Town Newsletter. Get Help with Jenna Goen, which is a new initiative that we're launching. The Douglas Community Cookbook Project, which
Yay.
we're also slowly building, and the Community Skills and Resources, which is a link to like a Google folder where Rebecca's been curating just useful stuff. Caregiving 101, radon information, fire safety.
Sweet.
We should share this more often.
This is great.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, it's also kind of brandy new. I mean, that community
Yep.
drop down wasn't there a month ago. So it's something we're still working on.
Your website, like at least from this point, looks so organized compared to the town's website.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And that
I'm
is
not gonna even
crazy
get
because
into
it
my-
is so not.
Going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The back end of this website is a garbage fire, but it works.
Well, but it looks good up front.
It looks good up front, so I guess it's all that matters.
Just
In the end.
don't click
Yeah.
on. Can you click? Can people just actually click on things? Because I've gone to those websites where you can click on. You click on the things, it looks beautiful, and then it says under construction
Yeah.
or come back soon or error.
404, yeah.
Or
Yeah, I
my
deliberately
favorite
made
is
the UR
placeholder
slug.
text.
Yeah.
The UR slug is really easy. It's mysfpl or mysfpl.org/Douglas Mill. Like I got rid of all the other hyperlink garbage in it. So that if someone wants to subscribe to it or submit something to it, you can just tell them to go to mysfpl Douglas Mill.
Oh, and that's great that it can be anything, even, paid things. So someone trying to, I don't know,
Yeah,
needs
I chatted with Matt about it, and he said, like if we're going to do this and we're going to invite people to contribute content rather than just doing it ourselves, it has to be open to everyone and everything, no questions asked. So if the goat shearers of if the racist goat shearers want to have an event and they send us the information, we've got to put it in.
But okay, there can be ground rules can be set.
Not really. We can't set any ground rules. It's
As
just if you submit
what?
it, we'll run it, as long
If
as
we're
it's
gonna
not
say,
profane.
Well,
all right,
what bothers me on the We Are Dynamic Douglas type places is all the people trying to get jobs and stuff like that. Not jobs,
Mhm.
but advertise their services constantly. So it won't be like that, will it? We
This
don't
is
have to
not for
have serve.
services. It has to be an event. It has to be something
Okay,
someone can go
good.
to, mingle, meet other people. It has to be a
okay,
function.
all right,
That's good.
all right. No, that's okay. No, that's good.
I'll put a
We're
post.
not going to advertise the sale. We're not going to advertise your service. But if you're going to have an open house with cupcakes, we'll totally put that in here.
I want to go to the house of cupcakes.
That would be good.
Now I want
Okay.
a cupcake.
Yeah.
Let's go away. Director's report.
Let's go back to where we were.
Okay, so the last thing in my director's report, then I'll shut up, is that we're launching a new thing with the Blackstone Valley Community Partnership. Jenna Goen has been like huge help in our public safety programs that we did in last fall. And she is just going to basically kind of do an office hours things where the goal is going to be to have her at the library for 4 hours once a month. So she can do 20, not 4 hours, 2 hours. So she can do 4 20-minute personal one-on-one appointments with people who need help with pretty much anything. Application for veterans benefits, SNAP, WIC, finding community resources for addiction, help finding jobs, help finding transportation, getting fuel assistance, anything like that. She knows it all.
That's awesome.
That's great.
And that was also in the community drop down. And that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Is
All right,
that-
let's move on.
Jenna? Did you hear me?
Oh,
Did
I'm
it
sorry.
already start with Jenna?
Her first one was supposed to be today. She didn't have any appointments. We're hoping, with some more publicity and more pushing,
Yeah.
we can actually get her some appointments for next month, or else shunt in some from other libraries that, just don't have space. Because I told her if we can't fill the schedule, then she can, shunt in clients who, she hasn't been able to work into her schedule at the other libraries she's working at, because she's doing this in Blackstone, Millville, I think, and one other library. I don't remember which one.
I mean, that's a great service if people hear about it. So
Yeah.
That's it exactly, Dawn. I think if word gets out, like if one person, you do find people online who are looking for help with various things and who can point me in the right direction.
Mhm.
So if one person goes there and gets assistance with a search, and they, it's kind of like, and then he tells someone and they
Yeah.
tell someone, that kind of thing. I
Right.
think that would be good. I think that's an invaluable service to provide in the library, which it is supposed to be openly accepting to everyone, regardless of whatever, so that people can feel safe going into the library with whatever they need to get help with, without any fear of judgment or anything like that. Or
Right.
I don't know, things are crazy right now, so I'm kind
Yeah,
of,
we might need this refuge.
Yeah.
so anyhow. That's great. So let's move on before I get too crazy.
Yeah.
The FY 2026 budget, I believe you just did a, what, 2.84% increase and 2% COLAs for staff, right?
Yep.
So it's
So the
pretty
numbers
much
are
the
in. We had
same.
our department budget meeting with Matt. Cost of living increases for personnel next year are going to be 2%. And that's really just the final piece I was waiting for to be able to finish the preparing the budget. So now I've got a total bottom line of $416,200, which is within what they asked for. They asked for a 2.5 increase in operations, which is what I did. And then whenever you combine that with 2% COLAs and step increases, it turns into a total of 2.84% increase.
Okay. All right. So that's good. I'm just wondering, like, where we ran into, but you never know. You never know. You know, where we're running into a situation right now with repairs and maintenance.
We won't run into that issue again. We built up the, well, I hope not, but the
I
logic
know.
behind the big, 18,764 repairs and maintenance budget this first year of our big budget increase is because we knew we were going to have to yank out the radiators. And that
Mhm.
took up half of it. Um, so next year we won't have as much repairs and maintenance money to spend, but we're also not going to have nearly the amount of projects we're looking at completing either.
Yeah, that's true because this year there was a lot of things that happened, a lot of work and repairs and with as with any old building, when you open up one thing, you never know what you're gonna find. So, yeah, hopefully that's okay. If that's what's been proposed, then that's it, I
Can
would
you
say.
move it down a little bit so I can see the top of it, top of the stuff? Yeah. I don't have, I just wanted to look at it. That's all. So, okay. And was telephone 260? So you're just going up to 500 and you think that will be enough?
I'm hoping we won't have to have repair technicians out next year since we've gotten, new wires and cables and switches this year.
All right. So that was the repair was the,
I know we've done so much. It seems like we've repaired so much.
Well, it's been the first year we've had like a repair maintenance and maintenance budget that did more than just cover our mini splits.
Yeah.
Mm.
Every year before this, if we had wanted to do these kinds of maintenance and repairs, I would have had to ask for grant money, or we would have had to have bundled it into a $10,000 package and presented it to the capital committee.
oh,
Well, I think we're doing well.
It's been fun having a repairs and maintenance budget.
Okay, so the trustees need to vote to approve this budget, correct?
Yes, they do. If they vote to approve it, I will present it to the town administrator and the finance committee on February the 11th.
Okay.
Can you get it on one page, Justin? Is it possible?
Is if I zoom out some.
That'll be tiny. Maybe it's my view.
yeah, it looks like it's in alphabetical order too. So that's what's confusing because it's different than what the regular budget comes out to be.
What are non-energy utilities?
Water bill.
Water. Okay.
Uh-huh.
There was an article in the paper the other day about uh
Uh,
the
get it.
mini whatever it is that people now have for electrical and
Mhm.
Mini
There.
splits.
One
yeah,
screen,
what's it called? Mini what?
Mini splits.
mini split.
Yeah. So is that going to, do you think yours is going to go Kaflooey too,
I hope not.
next year?
I certainly hope not.
We don't anticipate that.
We've been engaging in the annual preventative maintenance, so that's supposed to keep that from happening.
Okay.
Wait, something's been happening to them? I missed that.
What was in the news, Ellie?
Oh, it was, they were saying it was in the Boston Globe that, it was pretty, uh, Evan, do you remember what it is with the mini splits and what's going on with that? Yeah, the heat pumps.
Shot up to 700.
Yeah, their electric bill shot up to $700 a month or something like that in the
Yeah.
winter. So,
Yeah, it
do you-
is expensive in the winter.
do you have them
I
on your,
have I have the heat pump, but not the mini splits.
okay,
I have a mini split, but just one.
yours
Yeah,
isn't,
in the house.
yeah,
So
Those are-
just because of the electric rates,
uh-huh.
not because of some issue with the mini splits.
So the heat pumps aren't what the library has. They have mini splits, right?
Yeah, we have mini split inverters.
Isn't it just the same thing?
I'm
I
never
thought it was the
gonna-
same thing, but that's
It-
okay.
it
We
could
don't have
be,
to
I
go
don't
into
know.
all this right now.
That's for
I just
another
wanted to
part
know
of
if
the
mine was
bill.
going to explode or something.
I
Yeah,
don't
because
see any-
the other thing in today's paper, it was about how there's so many people getting EV electric vehicles, and so the amount of tax money that is generated from the gas from buying gas is not is going down, and so that's sort of an interesting
Mhm.
thought too of it sounds great, but then towns like, or in Massachusetts it's chapter 70 that we get money from every year, and if that pot is going down, then I guess it's going to affect our taxes.
Mhm.
Well, we're in this, we're gonna find out. So
Yeah.
anyhow,
I need to step away for a minute.
Oh, I'll make a
So
motion
the
to accept
budget
the
needs
proposed budget for
All right.
20 FY 26.
2026. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
I
Aye. Aye.
Yeah.
Hello? Aye.
Mhm.
Anybody else want to vote?
Well, I
Are
thought
we
we
in-
all did. I thought
No,
I
I
heard
didn't hear
everybody.
it. I'm for, all those in favor of accepting the budget proposal for FY 26, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye. Any nays? Any abstained? All right, so
Unanimous.
unanimous. So while Justin has run away for a second, I'm
Hmm.
I have to go check on something in the kitchen. I will be
Okay.
back in 2 minutes. Kate, carry on for me.
did we do the minutes?
Yeah, can't remember that. So we approved them.
Yeah, I feel like we just jumped into finance
You know,
report.
You know what, Kate? I think you're right.
I'll make a motion. Oh, no, I can't do that. I wrote
Hold
them.
on a second. I'll be back in the 1 minute, 30 seconds. Okay, well, Kate, you were right on that, I think. But we'll go back, okay?
Yep.
Did we approve the budget?
Yes, we did.
Hooray!
You got it. But Kate brought it up that I think we had inadvertently forgot to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Oh, yeah, we
So we
did.
can go back up there right now if you want. And do I have, hopefully everyone has read them.
Mhm.
Do I have a motion do I have a motion to accept the minutes from December 17th, 2024?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, so are there any questions, corrections, omissions? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from December 17th? Say
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? Hearing none, minutes have been approved. Now we can wind it back up.
Mm.
Good thing there's two of us.
Here we go.
All right. Yeah, I agree. That's it. I have, we'll do what we can do, right? Interior painting, Justin says can be taken off the agenda.
It's-
It's done.
Oh, I don't think, I don't see the shared screen. Did I do something or is it not being shared?
Oh,
See
Are you
it.
Agenda.
seeing the agenda?
No, I'm not seeing it, but
Oh,
everyone else, it just must be my view.
I'm seeing it.
I'm gonna make this big again now that we're done with budget. Yeah, so interior painting's done. The outdoor brickwork, ESI waterproofing is preparing a quote for us right now. They came on January 22nd to inspect and measure the building. I've also reached out to Matt for guidance because, originally, we got the quote from Jan Sudika of BuildMax to do this, and it came in at $55,000. And so I put that before the capital committee. They said since it was over that, it needed to go to the BFCC, and we needed another quote. So I'm in the process of getting another quote. But Matt also pointed out that since it's above $50,000, we also have to go out to bid. So I'm sent Matt an email outlining what has happened so far. And asking for the proper step to do next, to get this from here to one of those projects that's in the capital committee's multi-year plan.
Did I
Hopefully
read
I'll have more to report on that next month.
Did I read somewhere that there was a recommendation to hold off because of possible renovations? Did I read that somewhere? No?
Yes, in the minutes.
And
Yeah. So, I guess we're just gonna wait on that, right? And oh,
I mean, it would be good information to have, to know what it would cost to, weatherize the outside of the building, clean it up,
right,
restore it, repoint the bricks and seal it so we don't have to keep repointing them on a regular basis.
right. I understand.
Whether we do ADA compliance renovation or not, it's something that'll have to get done eventually.
That's true. So it wasn't, yeah. Okay, so hopefully maybe next month we'll have a quote or
Hopefully, I mean, I've got one quote for $55,000. Then this other company asked if we needed a 5% construction bond. I sent that question to Matt, and that's when Matt was like, "No, put on the brakes. You need to go out to bid."
Hmm.
okay. Well,
I saw on whatever it's called, the Douglas
Dynamic
stuff.
Douglas.
Yes. There was something advertised, Lakeside Masonry and Remodeling. I don't know if, I mean, is that another source? I wrote it down in here so I wouldn't forget to mention it, but that's another place. And
Lakeside.
they were advertising. They have one of those big, uh, enormous green monsters that, I guess, uh, can climb up buildings or something like that. I don't know what they do, but
Ah,
okay, that's all
wait.
I wanted to say.
all right, so we'll look forward to whatever a quote from them. Um, so Justin, are you thinking to wait to get a quote from them or putting something out to bid? I don't know
I
how.
want to wait to see what Matt's reply is first, and see how this is supposed to work. Like, is it supposed to? Do we need quotes to put it in the capital pipeline now, and then it has to go out to bid later when it's actually time to do it, or
I know.
what? I'm not sure how the best way to proceed is, and that's why we have a town administrator to tell me.
Yeah, and that's why he gets the big bucks. All right, so we'll hopefully get something back for next month's meeting on this. It's something that's going to have to be done. Like you say, regardless of what the outcome of the ADA situation is, we have to keep our building um, in as good a shape as it can be, and it's a historical place. I think it's great how it's being maintained and attempting to keep as much of the historical significance of it intact. But anyhow, I digress.
Well, one thing somebody had told me to consider is that the the brickwork and the ADA or whatever it is called, the accessibility stuff, is it walking hand in hand together? Because if that gets done first, is work that we actually do, 25 or how many years ago that we started doing all this work. Is that going to wipe out or be a waste of money to do pointing of bricks on the library if some of that wall is going to be demolished
Taken
anyway,
down. Yeah, I
so
understand.
sort of timing is everything.
I understand. You're right. Yeah.
So just
It would depend on the extent of the renovation that we wanted to do, but I don't imagine anything we would do would want to touch the outdoor um, building envelope very much because we want to stay like little, right?
Yes. I understand, and I understand, Ellie, I totally understand what you're saying, and I was thinking the same thing, but right, if we're going back and looking at if it becomes a reality, at the simplest plan that we have doesn't really cut into the building that much. There's a lot of brickwork there that needs to be cared for. So it's a good point. We'll have to see what we're looking at for cost and everything else. I mean, it's tough, tough decision, but we don't have to make that decision tonight.
Hmm.
So are we okay to move on to the next item on the agenda? To the basement?
Mhm.
Okay.
Nothing new to report there yet because he hasn't started.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so on to building projects, grants, capital campaign.
We've grown to over $2,000 since last meeting.
All right.
Awesome.
$2,002.57.
Amazing. It's going. We're doing
That's
it. Little
it's from like random
bits.
donations, Justin?
I think some of it was from the Texas Instruments donation, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh,
nice.
Which is
And then
really
Nice.
the rest
nice.
of it
Every
was
year
random donations.
that comes in.
that is great.
So that was 1,000, I think, and then the rest of it was just random donations.
Awesome.
I have some money from I keep saying it, money from the donation jars. I have been in lockdown. It's between my health, my pain, the weather, and everything else that's going on around us. I have just not made it out. I have money here that I forgot to bring to Ellie last week. But I'm going to get out and drop it off, and it's a drop in the bucket, but it's a way to keep out in the community so
Mhm.
people see it. So
I do. I appreciate. I appreciate it. So good work, Danielle.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay, action plan.
Okay, so last month I shared, this action plan with y'all. This month I just condensed it down and actually, because last month it was longer. This is like the condensed version, of just, we want to inspire Douglas by making continued gains in programming numbers, both the numbers of programs offered and the attendance at them, and increase circulation to 135% of their FY 2024 levels. Other things I would like to do in FY 26. This would be FY 26's action plan is, keep developing the Douglas Mill, propagate it, basically turn it into our local electronic newspaper. Create procedures for program publicity that minimize crosstalk, play to everybody's strengths, and effectively communicate what we offer to the public. To get rid of that sort of, too many cooks in the kitchen problem I was talking about last week.
Yeah.
This fall, we'll be collaborating very deeply with the Historical Society. So a goal is going to be successfully launch and facilitate the Smithsonian's Voices and Votes Traveling Museum in Douglas, establishing future ties for collaborations in the process. We had our first meeting about this today, actually. So we are going to need to commit to 6 programs between September and October of this year to coincide with the display of the exhibit at Town Hall. We want to convert the children's librarian's current office into a computer or office work lab once she's moved into her new space, and raise and reserve funds for the capital campaign. And things unrelated to the mission statement is I would like to put it in the plan that we have at least one board meeting in person. I would like to get at least one project on the capital committee's projects timeline and state strategic plan.
Sounds good.
So that's my proposed action plan for FY26.
What
I
the
think, go ahead.
capital committee, is that like, does that happen every month or there's a certain time frame for getting on that?
It has not been. I'm on the capital committee and we met in the fall and then was told that we would be meeting in December sometime and we haven't heard anything. So
Okay.
I think it's because the budget, they don't know how much they get to, that
Almost a
free
state is
cash can go to capital for projects and stuff like that. So they can't say, oh yes,
right.
everything that Justin asked for, we can do for you. But we have no clue of what the money is that is going to be available.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I would expect it. How do you think the budget for the town is going, Justin? Is it nobody's really talking yet, right?
Yeah, nobody's really talking yet, but my impression is that it's just kind of, we're trying to keep everything as flat as possible because health insurance is going up. School expenses are going up. My understanding is there's a lot of increase in revenue coming from the, development and stuff, but there's also a lot of increase in expenses that's just going to kind of neutralize it this year.
Mm.
And there's a need for highway trucks. There's a need for looking ahead for fire engine and stuff like that. And those are expensive ones. And renovating the fire department, so it's more nice to the firemen who have to spend the night there and stuff. And it's not a great place to live. And the highway barn
Yeah.
maybe going in. I
Yeah.
don't think we've voted at town meeting or for an override or anything like that for the highway barn yet.
All right. I have to step away again. We have a feral cat who's been on our property for 12 years, and we've got her in the house, and so I have to keep checking on her. I'll be back in 1 minute, okay?
Feral cat. Who knows what it could be doing? I have a feral dog. It's not there at the moment.
I have feral children.
Yeah, I was going to say I have a feral husband. So.
So is this action plan kind of in line with the board's vision for FY26 or?
Yeah, it is. I think it's always well, personally frustrating that we can't put like a real initiative to get accessibility, but I understand.
The problem is just the cost barrier. I mean, we need more money if we're not
Right.
going to, be pursuing a debt exclusion. I did so like the cost to renovate and build. Where's my calculator? Is between 750 and 1,000 square feet. So I mean, just like assuming we need a 30 by 30 space to tack an elevator on that, multiply that by 2 over 2 floors,
Mhm.
then multiply that by 750. That's like the low ball estimate to do the bare minimum $1,350,000. And that's not encompassing, the parking lot, the driveway, anything we have to do to the floors and the stacks and, a restroom. That would just be, a 30 by 30 extension on the back for an elevator.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. That's a lot.
I mean, and until we have that kind of capital sitting around, then
Right.
we just got to get there.
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
you put something in there to go? I know you did this when you first started working here, but somehow try to get more dough from the local banks, not from the branches, but from the main place in like Unibank in Whitesville and stuff like that, and going to the head of the board of directors or something
It's been a
for
long
big
time since
grants.
I've done deep fundraising like that, and I'm trying to open up more time to get back to it by
Okay.
delegating more things to new staff. This week, I shifted buying the holds queue to Gail, and I'm working on shifting social media and publicity for events entirely to Rebecca and Lisa, so I can be removed from that pipeline entirely and focus some on reaching out to potential big donors, because I mean that's really, I feel like, the only way we're going to get from here to there um,
Mhm.
without waiting 20, 30 years.
Mhm.
Well, we've already waited that
I
long.
know, I don't want to wait that
We've
much
already
longer.
waited
I
that
can't.
long. So it's yeah, it should be a priority of the town, and we'll see how the master plan stuff. I did see some talk in there about accessibility, so that's good.
The library
And
is faring very well in the master plan. I can
oh,
say
good,
by looking at the
excellent.
preliminary survey results, and just like listening in, because like Rebecca's on the master plan committee now, so I get an earful about them all.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
it's obvious how much people care in Douglas about the library and want it
Yeah.
to be compliant.
Yep.
Nice.
So what do you need done here?
Just a
You want-
vote to approve the action plan, if y'all approve of the action plan.
I think I have to just make a comment that I think this action plan is precise and it's doable and it gives you specific goals. I've seen action plans that are out in the cloud somewhere. This is something to
Like the one I
strive for.
presented last week,
I think it's great.
or last
So,
month, I mean.
I'll entertain a motion to accept Justin's plan.
So moved.
A second.
Seconded.
All right. Discussion, questions?
Mm.
Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? All right, you got it.
Now we're on to director's review. Thank you.
Yeah, that looked good. I saw some of the comments.
I mean,
Good
I can
job.
pull it up on screen if you want me to, or, I mean,
I think we're good. I think hopefully we all had a chance to read it, and it's our sentiments. You're doing a great job, Justin.
Was
I
that
hope
on
so.
the regular director's report?
It
No.
wasn't, because it wasn't ready yet. Lee didn't get his done until today. Kudos to getting it done from the middle of the Caribbean. So
So
I didn't
where-
have the numbers until today.
So where is it? Because I didn't see it.
I sent it out as an email this afternoon,
Late this afternoon?
late this afternoon. Yep.
Okay.
It wasn't very long before the meeting. It was an hour and a half before the meeting.
Okay.
because I commented to Gail. I was like, an hour and a half before the meeting, and I can finally finalize this review.
Okay.
Right. So now we have our life member trustee appointment. So we currently have life members.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to update this in real time, kind of as we talk, because Dawn has officially ascended. Congratulations, Dawn.
Thank you. Get my
All right.
ring.
Yeah. You know the
So
secret
now,
handshake now.
So now this is vacant.
all right. So,
Okay, till 2027.
Dana's gonna, he's up for reelection. He's gonna run. He said he would. So
Okay.
there is one elected position open right now. Now, do we have applications from either? Okay, first question. Is Lisa Church still interested?
Lori,
Lori.
yes.
We
Lori,
have
I'm sorry.
two interested people, Lori Church and David Metz.
Does anyone know if Lori is still interested?
Yes, I have her application. She's interested.
Justin,
Okay,
can
and
you
you,
show the two applications on the screen, or how do you,
I don't have David's. I probably shouldn't, because that would be, this, like everyone in town would be able to see it, because it would be,
Oh.
on
no,
tape.
that's true, but
Um,
we should have, it would have been good for us to have received them via email before the meeting so we could look at them.
I don't
I
have
think,
David's yet, because I printed it out for him yesterday morning, and he hasn't brought it back to me yet.
okay, so here's what we have time. We don't have to do this right away.
okay.
We can leave that position open, although with Lee being gone till May, now we're gonna be down to whatever, but let's table this till next meeting. We know
Well,
Dawn.
can I give two thoughts real quick, or just put in 2 cents?
Sure.
To
Please.
summarize what happened here concisely, Dawn didn't jump immediately on the life appointment. So that's what we were initially talking to these people about, to Lori and to David, because filling that was a big deal. You don't want an empty, self-perpetuating position on the board. This position, though, even if we were to formally invite both applicants, at this meeting to appear at the next meeting, and then picked one to recommend to the Board of Selectmen, and then had a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen to appoint someone, they would only have 2 meetings as a trustee before they're up for reelection. So I guess my question is it worth it to actually try to fill this position? Or should we wait until the election and then let them run?
Oh, because it's only a few months away from May.
Because it's only a few months away. They would get 2
That's
meetings before they had to rerun.
Right.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And if the board, picks one now, before the general election, then we'll be sort of picking the incumbent for the election. That feels a little bit
Self-serving.
Stevie to me.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's not a bad idea.
Is there, I thought somebody said that there was a meeting already scheduled with the Board of Selectmen.
We're penciled in for February 4th. We can request to be taken off of that agenda with no problem because we're not ready. Lisa was, I think she was holding off because she and I have been back and forth trying to get everything straightened out. I didn't think it was so controversial, but anyhow,
Just the game changed when we went from appointing a life member, which would have been this board just appointing a new life member, which is easy, which we did,
right,
versus appointing an elected member, because that's not technically us appointing it. It's the Board of Selectmen until the next election.
right, approving,
No, it's a joint meeting
A
with the
joint.
trustees. So it would be a roll call vote between the trustees, with the trustees and the selectmen all participating.
Yes, but we want to go there with the person we want appointed so that they just agree with it. We don't
Mhm.
want to go there with two people and have a big discussion.
no. So
We
my,
just want them to approve whoever we've decided on.
right,
Good idea, Justin. I think that makes sense.
yes.
Then
So
they
let's
can
just-
both
But
run.
not do anything?
Well, no,
And how does that affect our quorum? Do we still have to, is it,
As long as we still
dues?
have to
Because-
have a quorum.
yeah,
So,
but
No.
if is it just for 7 people, a quorum of 7 people? Or, how is all that?
Ellie,
Actually,
all
that's
right,
the same
Ellie,
number way for,
Ellie.
four have to
Everybody.
be there.
I need a gavel.
I'm not talking right
Right.
now.
A quorum is 5 voting members.
If there's 8.
If we have 8, the quorum doesn't matter. The quorum is still 5. So now
don't
we're
think
down
so.
to, yes, it is. We're
I
down
think
to
it's in the
7.
bylaws.
No, it's still,
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's a
Christ.
state law.
no. Yeah, the quorum is 5.
Yeah.
And so, we're down to 7. Lee is gone, so that gives us down to 6. So we still can have one of us not be able to make the meeting and have a quorum,
okay, but not two.
right? So we're good.
So we have to keep in touch if we're gonna be out.
Most likely I won't be able to, I'll be away in February and probably can't call in.
Okay, that's good to know.
I'm gonna miss the
And-
March meeting.
And I'm having hip replacement surgery on March 12th, so I'm not sure of my availability for the meeting in March. You'll have to see how I'm doing, but I think I'm okay. Hopefully I'll be okay. I mean, if I can hook up my laptop and sit somewhere. So, that's the only thing, is we're gonna have to play it month to month and hope that we have a quorum. But I think Justin's idea makes perfect sense. It's a lot of labor for everybody involved, the candidates, us, yeah, the Board of Selectmen.
So you're saying not to appoint anyone and just wait till the election?
Well,
We should probably vote on that, right?
we
Or-
should.
If
Okay.
there was just one person, we could have them appointed, but since there's 2, it makes it a little more difficult.
I
Well,
agree.
we're only gonna be replacing one person. It's
Yeah, but
just
we've
that
got
Lee
2
is
people
gone.
interested in that one position.
Right. So, um, let's see. How am I gonna put this? I will entertain a motion to delay, not
Or to just leave
delay.
the position vacant
I
until
would,
the election.
yeah, all right, I will entertain a motion to leave the open elected position vacant until the town election in May.
So moved. Or do I have to-
Okay,
Second,
do we have Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, so open it up for discussion.
I think y'all are saving yourself a big headache.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and if we find out that there's two people who can't make a meeting, I guess we'll reschedule, right? And just do our best to
We
make
can
the,
adjust. I'm flexible too. Like during
Right, and I
library
think,
open
yeah,
hours.
I agree.
We've done it
I-
before occasionally.
I think it's important that we stay in touch. So if we know ahead of time, I know if things come up, but if we know ahead of time, we're not going to make a meeting to let everybody know,
yeah.
and maybe we can reschedule it.
You can
Whatever.
still have a meeting, you just can't vote on something important.
You're absolutely right, Betty. That's a
You
good
could
point.
still get the information from Justin on circulation and budget and all that stuff.
You're right. Absolutely.
When we get to the end of the meeting too, and we're discussing when the next one is, if Betty, you know when you can be here, we could look at calendars then.
Yeah,
Not
Right.
February.
Oh, which one was it you couldn't make?
February.
February.
Is, I remember, Dana's talking about the 5 o'clock time. Could we make it a little bit later? Change
Mhm.
our meeting to a
Yeah.
little bit later, so it's better for him
Yeah.
to come to the meetings?
Yeah, so we want to go to
Yeah.
6 or 6:30 on that 25th?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Is that
Do
when
that.
the next meeting is, at 6:30? I mean, what is, I can't see
Right
it, it's
now, right now,
down here.
right
Oh,
now it's
yeah.
February
Oh,
25th.
we're
then.
there. We're almost there. So you want me to change that to 6:30? Is that what you said?
6:30 is
Or
fine
6?
with me.
6 or 6:30, but want to do 6:30 to be safe?
Yeah.
Works for me.
We used to do 7 in the town hall
No.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food, if we have
People
food,
used to stay up that late.
With cupcakes.
And that's it. I can't drive in the dark.
oh, we're gonna have
Wait
to have
a
a
month,
carrot.
it'll be
Oh my God.
light and
We'll do in person in the summer.
Yeah,
So is, the motion, it's been made and seconded?
Yes.
yes.
We didn't vote.
So I'm assuming there's no more further discussion. So everyone in favor for keeping the position open until the election,
I'm
say
just,
aye.
wait a minute, let me,
Oh my goodness,
discuss.
you missed your time slot.
well, I want to explain why I'm going to vote the way I'm going to vote so that, I think it's, me personally, I think it's, important to have the full, uh, uh, 8 people on board. And so I will probably I haven't made up my mind yet, vote no on this motion, or I will, abstain. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, I understand that. Others?
And either or both of the candidates are welcome at a meeting anytime, of course,
mhm,
as is any member of the public.
right.
Okay, so all in favor of keeping the position open until the election, say aye.
Aye.
I
Those opposed?
No,
Okay. Abstained? I understand it, Ellie. I respect it. I do.
Um,
Right.
except 4
3
yes
meetings.
and 1 no.
There'll be 3 meetings without somebody,
Right.
without a
Right.
quorum. I mean, without a full board.
Yeah.
Yep. But next meeting, we wouldn't have had one anyway.
Yep.
Right.
I'm not happy about it either, but
Yeah.
I would be all over appointing someone immediately if we had one person who was eagerly interested and not two. But since
Already.
we've got two, then, it's kind of like putting us in the position of kingmakers before May.
I think
Yeah.
it's great we have two candidates,
I do
I'm
too.
very
Yeah, it
pleased
is.
with that.
I
That's very
agree.
good. We can let the democratic process work now.
See if it works
Excellent.
sometimes.
Yeah, maybe someday it will work. Anyhow. I'm not gonna say anything else.
At least for library boards.
So let's move on to friends. Ellie?
Oh, friends. Oh, that's me. Um, Justin, are we all set with our mailing?
I'm Kate. Are we all set with our mailing?
I'm still waiting for blurbs from people, right? I got your blurb, Justin.
Oh, who else
Or
are you
did I
waiting for?
miss?
Do you not have Carolyn's? I thought
Did I
Carolyn had
miss a
sent
blurb?
one.
Oh, did she? Okay.
I'll make sure after this meeting you get Carolyn's blurb.
Because I tend to like to get these things out before the end of the month. I mean, I like it done in January, but if it can't be done, then it can't be done.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I have.
Actually was looking for my membership.
I wonder if she
Letter.
didn't include you on that email. That'll be the first thing I do after this meeting, Kate.
Okay. I can get that done in the next day or so.
I'll have to order paper though too. I'll
Oh
also
no.
More paper.
order
And we
paper and ink.
decided that it would be in black and white, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But it's going on colored paper.
Yes.
Right.
I was thinking we could
Goldenrod.
we could print out a few color ones just to have at the library or to post
Oh,
around.
yeah.
That'd be good.
Just
Yeah.
a few to have the new
Just
colorful
very few.
logos.
Yeah, put up. Yeah, good
Yeah.
idea.
If you make a colored version, then
Okay,
I'll print some for the library, and that's what I'll put on the website.
good.
Nice.
Perfect. Then we can get our color out there.
Show our colors.
Yes.
Yeah, but $185 difference was just hitting me in the face. I couldn't because I don't think you are going to get that many more people because it's colored or not, so.
But the colored paper draws people's eyes to it. I thought like the bright orange mailer.
Well, I think he got a deal. Justin did on goldenrod type of stuff.
Goldenrod paper. Assuming the
All
deal's
right.
still there, because I haven't actually ordered from WB
It was
Mason
only
yet.
it was like $5 or $5.50 a ream,
Mhm.
which sounded pretty good to
Oh,
me.
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But we
So,
have to
anything
get over
else on
that's
anything?
it. I'm looking forward to getting all the money.
I know you are.
That's
right.
always fun.
There'll be merch store. You can buy Friends merch now, library merch.
Right. I started a sticker order and then I never finished it.
Rebecca ordered a bunch of stickers, and she was that's like the one thing she was not super happy about was the stickers.
Oh, really?
They weren't sticky enough.
Nah.
All right, so do we have other old business? Hearing none, new business. We've got enough old business to take care of.
This was a dense meeting.
Yep.
It was. I think we had a good discussion. I think we got a lot accomplished. So our next meeting is February 25th at 6:30. I have to stay awake.
Justin, can you email everybody so we know that, like, especially Dana who's not here?
Yes, I will do that.
Thanks.
Okay, I will hear a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Second,
All right, all those in favor?
I.
Aye.
Aye.